Hello, my name's Cameron Asgarza and you're watching another television review on Cam's Camera Talk. Today's show is Arrow, Season 4, Episode 3. Spoilers ahead. So this episode starts out and Oliver and Diggle are chasing down a H.I.V.E. guard. Diggle almost gets killed by one. The H.I.V.E. guard points the gun at Diggle but he doesn't pull it. So for some reason, these ghosts of H.I.V.E. are sort of being instructed to keep Diggle alive for whatever reason that is. These were the ones who killed his brother, so there is some kind of reason against the family, Diggle's family, that they must have for wanting to do this. At the end they manage to catch him with the help of Felicity, and they finally try and find some answers, but before he gets to off himself, Diggle stops him, but he manages to get away. But it shows that they're getting closer to tracking down these ghosts, to finding out more answers. So this is quite a Diggle-centred episode. So in this episode, Diggle finds out the name of the woman who hired Deadshot to kill his brother. She was called Mina Fayed, and in this episode it was sort of about him chasing her down until she dies, of course. Damien Darhk is in this episode, and in this episode we see him hire DC's answer to Gambit in Double Down. So he hires him to try and kill Oliver and his accomplices. Double Down is someone who can take tattoo versions of cards off of his arm and use them as weapons. Apart from the fact that he has tattoos and uses it that way, he is essentially DC's answer to Gambit. Whatever this is, Damien Darhk still isn't landing for me. I don't know what it is. Other people are liking his take, but for me specifically, the character just isn't doing something. It's not there for me. I'm not as interested in seeing him. If you look at other shows, I mean, you got Gotham, so they had Jerome as the Joker, and now they've got James Frayne as Thea Galavan. I mean, you look at The Flash, I want to see Zoom. So all them villains, I'm interested to see them. I want to see what they're doing with for whatever reason it is, and I can't actually put my finger on it. Damien Darhk is just someone who I don't really care about yet. Whatever that is, I do hope it changes, because it looks like he is going to be a prolific part of this season. I'm not saying they really have to do anything with the character, because everyone who I've talked to about it has actually enjoyed the character of Damien Darhk, so I'm on my own in this one. I think it might be the idea that he is too powerful, so why is he hiring people for things that he can just do himself? I don't believe at the moment that he would hire someone to kill Arrow and Diggle when he has so much power that he could probably just do it himself. But anyway, assuming we get more of him as the season goes on, and I may grow to like the character. There was this really cool fighting scene in this episode, so it was Arrow fighting Double Down and it was Diggle fighting H.I.V.E. And the two sort of interlapped each other, and they showed what they were doing at the same time, just scene to scene, scene to scene. It's cut back and forth between the two fights. Obviously both fights ended in the same way, in that the hero had to flee, but it was really cool to see him flip back and forth between these two cool action scenes. In this episode we learn a little bit more about Thea and the Lazarus Pit. So Malcolm Merlyn, who is now Raj Al Ghul, but I'm going to call him Malcolm Merlyn, tells Thea about what the Lazarus Pit does. So it's something like it gives the souls of whoever's bathed in it, it sort of gives their ideals and their principles to whoever is brought back to life, or whoever lays in the pit. So it's turned Thea essentially into a bloodthirsty killing machine. Merlyn says that she needs to kill just to be satisfied, and he actually sets it up so that she kills two people, so that she's sort of fed in a way. So she says that she won't need to kill for a while now. The bloodthirst is going to drop substantially. Another big thing was Black Canary. Obviously Laurel took Sara to Nanda Parbat to bring her back to life, and at the start Malcolm Merlyn and Nyssa say that they don't want any part of it, but eventually Malcolm Merlyn realises that to get Thea's trust, this is sort of the only way to do it, so he agrees to bring Black Canary, Sara Lance, back in the Lazarus Pit. We get to see a little bit more of Mr. Terrific, and there was that little Easter egg where we see the little sort of silver ball. That's a weapon used by Mr. Terrific. But Double Down attacks Palmitek, and Felicity and Mr. Terrific sort of get caught in the crossfire, and they just do what they can to fend him off. Felicity takes a gun and manages to shoot him, and it doesn't kill him, but it sort of subdues him and makes him flee. So Sara Lance gets resurrected by the Lazarus Pit. We knew it was going to happen because we saw it in the Legends of Tomorrow trailer. But what I noticed was that the footage in this and the footage in the Legends of Tomorrow trailer differed, and I preferred the one that we got in the Legends of Tomorrow trailer. It wasn't because she was naked or anything. Okay, it was a little bit because she was naked, but still, the footage from Legends of Tomorrow trailer was better than the one in the Arrow episode. I know that they shot the Legends of Tomorrow footage to just be used for the Legends of Tomorrow trailer, but they could have integrated some of the scenes in, but at the same time, if she was to go naked, come out naked in a show which is like, you know, it's not for children, but children watch it, it would be difficult to work around. So I mean, it was just better in theory. So I understand why they did it that way. I understand why they didn't rehash the footage. But at the end of the episode, she's not fine. She still is tapped in the head. So it's going to be interesting to see how long they wait to make her come around. And also, Thea was dead a couple of days before they brought her back to life. And she's a bloodthirsty animal now. Sara's been dead like a year. So I mean, it's hard to imagine how much of a killing machine she's actually going to be when she comes back as the White Canary. After this, Nyssa destroys the Lazarus Pit. Now, this is something that I actually am quite happy about, because anytime anyone died, you were just gone, why didn't they just use the Lazarus Pit? It didn't work out too bad the first 2 times, because I mean, obviously that's a plan. Thea's a good guy, and White Canary's going to be a good guy, so it's not going to be that bad of a thing, but now it's gone, so that element of bringing people back to life is over. So, you know, as soon as whoever this person dies at the end of season 4, or I'm assuming it's going to be towards the end of season 4, they can't just stick them in the Lazarus Pit and have them brought back to life. This isn't the first time Lazarus Pit has been sought and destroyed by a DC character. In the comics, Batman and Bane decided to try and travel the world and take down all the Lazarus Pits. At the end as well, Oliver and Diggle sort of quash their beef, and this is something that I'm happy about. I mean, I enjoyed the relationship between Oliver and Diggle. That's something that I enjoyed, the bromance between them in seasons 1 to 3. So I didn't like that they weren't friends at the start of this season. I felt that something was missing, but now that something can return, they look like they're going to be friends again, and I'm really happy about that. They're going to be watching each other's back. At the end of the day, I did enjoy this episode of Arrow. I thought it was really good, some good action in there, some good story, setting it up for the rest of the season 4. So I am happy about this episode, and I did think it was pretty good. Anyway, if you've liked what I brought for you today, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter at CamsCameraTalk, there's a link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Whoever this is will spark this sort of dark Oliver to come back. Personally, I wouldn't start killing again.